damaged cells? Well, let me explain that one by giving you an example. So say for example, I have here a broken wooden chair. Will I be able to fix this one using plastics? No, right? Will I be able to fix this one using metals? No, right? But some would say yes. But it won't be fixed properly and it will not last any longer. Because the only thing that we should be using to be able to fix the broken wooden chair is by using the same material, which is the wood. And that goes the same thing with our body. Whenever we do have damaged cells, of course we will be needing to replace this one with some healthy cells. And this stem cells has the unlimited possibilities of treatment boundaries. And it was also been proven to have a miraculous abilities. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, because all of the information that I'm telling you right now doesn't just came from me or from our company, Riway International, but it was also came from different publishers such as different newspapers, different magazines, and different journals that feature the benefits of stem cells. Now, anyone in this room are familiar with Time Magazine? Yes, right? But to those people who don't know, Time Magazine is actually one of the most well-known magazine all over the world. Now, if you are the owner of this Time Magazine, would you publish something that is not right? Would you publish something that could ruin your reputation? No, right? Because we will only publish something that goes years and years of research until it was finally proven. Tama po? But some of you might think, or some of you might ask me, Jaime, maybe stem cells are good, but how can we get these stem cells? Well, I'm about to show you different kinds of methods to be able to get these stem cells. Starting from the first one is what we call the placenta injection in Switzerland. Now, to be able to undergo this kind of method, of course, we will be needing to fly from the Philippines, going to the country, Switzerland. And of course, once we arrive in that country, we will be needing to think of our hotel accommodations, foods, transportations, and the hospital bills. So do you think that is cheap? No, right? Don't worry because we still have another option. This is true, the placenta injection in a beauty salon. But before undergoing this kind of method, I have some questions first. How sure are you that the stem cells that are going to be injected to you are still alive? How sure are you that the people who will be doing this kind of method are professionals or even have the license to do it? How sure are you that this method is 100% safe? Well, I might leave that conclusion to you as we move along to another option. And this is what we call the stem cell transplant. Well, let me explain the stem cell transplant by giving you an example. So say for example, I am currently driving my car and then suddenly I got into an accident. And then I found out that my right arm got separated from my body. Now, going to the hospital, doctors could easily reconnect my skins, my tissues, and even my bones. However, the doctor will be having a hard time to reconnect my nerve cells. And to be able to do that, doctors will have to extract some stem cells from my backbone and inject it directly to the affected area. However, the doctors will have to make sure that the stem cells that are going to be injected are still alive. And to be able to do that successfully, the doctors will have to make sure that they will be preventing the use of anesthesia. So, do you think that is painful? Yes. No, it's not painful. It's just like a bite of an ant. But the ant is 7-footer. You like that? No kidding. But don't worry, we still have another option. And right now, as you all know, we are now arriving to the exciting part. So who among in this room wants to have free stem cells? Can I see the raise of hands? Free stem cells, ayaw po ng iba? But to those people who raise their hands, I have some questions first. Who among in this room could sleep 8 to 10 hours a day? Can I see the raise of hands? Okay, there are some. Who among in this room could drink 8 to 12 glasses of water a day? Can you raise your hands? Okay, now who among in this room could exercise for 30 minutes to 1 hour? Can I see the raise of hands? Okay.
Kailangan yun eh.
But the final question, who among this room could live a stress-free life?
Stress-free.
Okay, meaning to say no free stem cells to you. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe next week, if you will be joining us again in this company event, maybe that time I will be giving you your free stem cells that time. From me, personally. So is it okay? So will you promise you will be coming back here again with us? Can you give yourselves a big round of applause? Now moving on to the next method, we have this what we call cord blood banking. And this cord blood banking is very popular in that country, Singapore, wherein it requires a mother giving birth to her child. But what if the doctor told you that the umbilical cord, which is filled with stem cells, will only last for 20 years? So what if the child or the mother got some illness after 21 years? Do you think that the stem cells will still be effective that time? No, right? Don't worry, because we still have another option. And this is what we call the adult stem cells banking. But let me explain this one by giving you an example again. So say for example, right now, currently, I am 60 years old. Kumari lang 60 years old. But due to the factors that I mentioned earlier, the 4 factors, due to the factors that deteriorates already my body, the doctor told me that my stem cells is 20 years older than me. Now the question is, how old do you think my stem cells would be that time? Knowing that I am 60 years old. 8 years old, right? So meaning to say, do you think that the stem cells will still be effective that time? No, right? So, Jaime, is there any other effective, efficient, and affordable way? Well, of course there is, and this is true. The oral capsule modern technology. And as you all know, most especially to the first timers, in the previous edition, in the 6th edition, we only have 5 modern technology. But right now, in the 7th edition, we have now 6 modern technology. Starting off with the first one and the newest one, which is what we call the supercritical extraction. Now, what is this technology? Supercritical extraction is extracting the stem cells from the placenta while separating it from its components while maintaining for it to be alive. Of course, if you want to extract some stem cells, of course, we have to make sure that the stem cells will still be alive, right? Tama po? And to be able to do that successfully, this is the technology that is needed. And the next one is what we call the freeze-drying technology. So this actually requires a special refrigerator to be able to preserve of the quality of the stem cells that is good for 3 to 4 years. Next one is the nitrogen-filled technology. So this actually helps to prevent oxidation inside the capsule. So let me give you an example for that one. So say for example, I have here an apple in my hand. And then I decided to cut the apple in half. And after leaving that apple for several minutes, what do you think would happen to the apple? It will turn brown. And that's oxidation. And that is the one being prevented by this third technology. Next one is what we call the enteric-coated technology. So this actually helps to withstand the acid inside our stomach because as you all know, our stomach can only consume up to 20% of nutrients. But once it reaches our small intestines, it will now boost up to 80%. And the next one is what we call the emulsification technology. So this actually helps to break down the larger molecules into the tiniest version as it can be, so that the nutrients will even grow inside the smallest veins in our body. And last and definitely not the least is what we call the biosoft gel technology. So this actually helps to have a better and faster nutrition absorption inside our body. And now, ladies and gentlemen, by combining the 6 modern technology, Riway International have finally created the Portier Placenta 7th edition. Can we give Riway a big round of applause? Now, a lot of people are asking me again, Portier Placenta? Where does this Portier Placenta came from? Well, it actually came from a doe. and doe is a female deer. And deers are believed to have a humane soul because they have this ability to distinguish the good grass from the bad grass. That is why deers are considered to be one of the most clean and special animal. Because if a deer accidentally ate a bad grass, it will immediately die because it has no gallbladder. Now, people are sometimes curious, most especially to the first timers. Riway International is killing deers, but I tell you, Riway International is not killing deers. We are just extracting the placenta from the newborn baby deer, and that's it. No killing of deers. Now, I have this question again. What makes Portrait Placenta 7th edition very special compared to the previous edition? It is because of the clinically proven patented ingredients of Riway International. Now, a lot of people are curious about this patent or patented. But patent means Riway International is exclusively using some ingredients that no other company can use. So meaning to say, Riway International is the only company that can use these ingredients. Now, before in the 6th edition, we only have one patent ingredient, and that is nucleoclaven. But now in the 7th edition, we don't just have one, but now we have 5 clinically proven patented ingredients. That is also one. Now, starting off with the first one is what we call the cervicenta. So what is this cervicenta? Cervicenta is the 100:1 deer placenta extract. Now, how is that possible? 100:1 deer placenta extract? Well, it is possible because of the technology that I mentioned to you earlier, the super critical extraction. Next one is the velvicenta. Velvicenta, or the antlers tip of the deer, yung pinakasungay. Because that antlers tip contains a lot of stem cells. Next one is the ginseng. Ginseng, or are you familiar with ginseng? Yes. Ginseng, right? Ginseng is actually one of the top Chinese immortality herbs. But what makes this ginseng very special compared to the usual ginseng that we know? It is because that this ginseng was planted in the volcanic soil in the country of New Zealand. Now, whenever we hear country New Zealand, what are the first things that comes into our mind? Clean, very fresh, and many more positive things. And that is why ginseng is very special one, because it grew from the volcanic soil in the country New Zealand, which makes it 150 times more effective than the usual ginseng that we know. And the next one is what we call the axertone. Axertone, or what we call the antlers lingsy. Now, axertone is also one of the top Chinese immortality herbs. And antlers lingsy, so for this axertone, it's called antlers lingsy. And meaning to say that antlers lingsy is one of the prized possession amongst all the lingsy. So to make it simple and concise, meaning to say that axertone is one of the best. Now, it's called antlers lingsy because it looks like the antlers tip of the deer. Yung texture niya, parang siyang sungay ng deer. But basically, this axertone is a mushroom. Now, for the final and last patent ingredient is the nucleoclaven that came from Awaji Islands, Japan. And one of the, by the way, this nucleoclaven is a white strawberry, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. And one of the benefits that we can get from this white strawberry or from this nucleoclaven is antioxidation, anti-inflammation, and even anti-tumor. Now, next, ladies and gentlemen, why do we need health supplements? Because this question is a very common question that a lot of people are asking me. Why do we need health supplements? Because health supplements helps our body to protect, to recover, and to lower the 3 highs. Are you familiar with 3 highs? Yes. High blood, high cholesterol, high sugar. Now, anyone from this room wants to be healthy? Can I see the raise of hands? People who wants to be healthy? Well, I know that most of us, or even all of us, wants to be healthy. Tama po? So, are you willing to intake 20 to 30 capsules each and every day? But I thought you wanted to be healthy. Kidding aside, even I myself really find that very impossible. But do you think that it is possible to input all of these benefits in one single capsule only? Yes, right? Because with Portier Placenta Standard, we have been able to input all of these benefits, including the regeneration, in one single capsule only. And that deserves a round of applause, by the way. Now, with all that being said, I'm now going to show you the 14 wonderful ingredients of the Portier Placenta 7th edition. Before, in the 6th edition, we only have 12. But now in the 7th edition, we don't just have 12, not 13, but 14 wonderful ingredients. Now I have a question. If I would be removing one from this ingredient, do you think that the product will still be effective? No, right? But some would say yes. But let me put it this way. This is the favorite story of each and every leader. Because as you all know, the business development department's favorite dish is sinigang. Now try to imagine, ladies and gentlemen, most especially to the first timers, try to imagine that all of these are the ingredients of sinigang. Now suddenly, you forgot one special ingredient. That is sampalok. Now, do you think if you would be able to push through without sampalok, do you think that the sinigang that you will cook will still taste the same as the original sinigang? No, right? Because it will taste more like of a nilaga. And of course, that goes the same thing with our product. Every single ingredient plays a vital role to its own benefits to be able to protect, to recover, to repair our body, and the most beautiful of all, to reverse the aging process. Now, what is this reverse aging process? Well, let me differentiate this one to anti-aging process. Well, anti-aging process, say for example, I am 30 years old, and later on, I would slowly realize that I am slowly turning 31, slowly turning 32, slowly turning 33, which is great because it really slows down the process. But I tell you, with reverse aging process, I am 30 years old, but why do I feel like I'm just 27? Because I got more energy. I am 30 years old, but why do I feel like I'm just 25? Because I got stronger. I am 30 years old, but why do I feel like I'm just 22? Because I can do better. And the most beautiful of all, I am 30 years old, but why do I feel like I'm just 18? It's because I looked younger. And that reverse aging process is actually one of the benefits that we can get from the Portier Placenta. That we give Portier Placenta to the Now, the next slide is actually a terrifying slide, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because it states there the leading causes of death worldwide in the year 2019. But among all of these leading causes, I would just like to emphasize the top three. That is cardiovascular, cancer, and respiratory diseases. And you know what makes this slide even more terrifying? Is that whether we like it or not, we can do nothing about it. Tama po? Because it's nature. Meaning to say, it keeps happening every single day up until this point. Tama po? And that is why we should be really thanking the person who invited you right now to be in this company event. Because that person really cares about your health. Can we give them a big round of applause? You know, ladies and gentlemen, it may sound cliche, but I know that we all agree on the same. Health is our wealth. And do you believe in the saying that to see is to believe? Because as you all know, before I end my presentation, our MC tonight prepared a testimony to each and every one of us. And in that testimony, there will be some speakers who will be telling you their story on how this product changed their lives. Now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that once this company event has ended, we can now do things differently. And I just hope that once we exit right through that door, we can still continue living our life to the fullest while doing what is right. And with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, see you all on Saturday and see you all at the top. Thanks so much.